The incidents of cyber crimes and online frauds are increasing. In fact, keeping pace with the growth of the Nigerian economy. And that's according to the Deloitte Cybersecurity Outlook 2026 report, which was released back in January. That report comes to the fore this week when the Central Bank of Nigeria issued a public alert on fraudulent messages, cybersecurity, hack attempts, and other forms of online crimes that target the financial regulator itself, the banks, and other financial institutions. Joining me to discuss this very important and concerning development is Temitope Aladenusi. He is the Africa cybersecurity leader at Deloitte. A good evening to you. Thank you very much for coming, sir. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. This is a very interesting, very concerning development. Why is cybercrime running neck to neck with the pace of the economy? Is it a function of an attraction here that the better the economy is doing, the more cyber criminals and others want to get on the game?
Yes, I would say partly. The better the economy, the better cyber criminals want to get out of the game. But you must also appreciate that we are also moving into a digital economy. Everything is now connected digitally. We do businesses on our phones. We check our bank accounts on our phones. We even tax returns right now we're filing online. So because of the digital economy, the advancement in digital economy is what is now increasing, this cyber attacks across the world. It's like you adopt technology, and that technology comes with its own risk. So it's a new level and new devil kind of scenario. So because we are going into new advancement in technology, any advancement in technology comes with associated risk, and that's why we have cyber attack increasing.
Were we aware of what we were getting into in the first place? That more online digital footprints we have, the more the criminal elements will want to get a hold of what we do. Well, what are the realities on ground, my friend?
Yes, I think we were aware, but maybe not. If you look at the way many companies have handled security so far, maybe not to the scale with which they are seen, because like everything you do in life, it comes with its own risk.
The downside.
Exactly.
Risks.
Like coming here today, I came with my car. There is also the risk that somebody on the way might just scratch my car or eat my car. So the same way, anything you do in life comes with associated risk, and many companies were aware that going this route is not that you are eliminating the risk, but you're just shifting the risks from the traditional risk management methods to online or to digital risk. But right now, it will appear that many people are not prepared for the kind of attacks they are seeing, the scale and the sophistication of the attacks that they are seeing right now.
Who is the most at risk as we speak? The government, businesses, banks, financial institutions, ordinary businessmen?
Right now, I would say everyone. Initially, it used to be the banks because, survey shows that financial institutions are 600% attacked, 600% times more attacked than other institutions.
600%?
Yes, times more attacked than other institutions, because when you attack a bank, for example, you touch cash directly. So there is the tendency for people to want to attack banks and financial institutions. But it has changed right now. Right now, you can attack anybody and attack any company. For instance, the kind of attacks we are seeing currently is largely around what I call data extortion, whereby you can attack anybody, any organization, steal their data or lock their data and ask them to pay a ransom. And if you don't pay a ransom, I will not release your systems to you. So imagine most companies right now, they are already doing their business online. They are using technology to run their business. And somebody grounds the entire technology and say, if you don't pay me, you cannot do business. You cannot pay your customers. You cannot service your customers. You cannot collect payments. So in the past, where people can attack banks and they are touching cash, right now I may not get cash from you directly, but I can lock your systems. I can take your data and I say, if you don't pay, I will put it online for everyone to know that you have been attacked, and they will not trust you and they will not do business with you again. And so because of that, it is shifting from more financial service institutions to almost everyone in every industry. And even regulators are not immune from this statement that you made earlier.
The central bank issued that statement, and I'm sure it's going to be flashed all over again. And this is what the central bank says. Those, in paragraph 2, the central bank says, those fraudulent messages which prompt recipients to click peddle false information about the bank's leadership, licensing, policy issues, and intended to hack personal accounts, even the central bank itself.
Yeah, so for this particular case, I think what happened is that some malicious persons were sending messages to people and saying that they are now the central bank, they are now the governor of the central bank, they have access to the systems, and trying to trick people to relate with them, to do business with them, to click on links that are malicious so that they can, adverse their password and their credentials. So when the central bank saw it, they gave that advisory. So of course, but beyond that, every regulator is being attacked right now. Every system, like we predicted in our cybersecurity outlook for this year, everyone is being attacked. Regulators are being attacked by the cyber criminals right now.
Is this something that could get into the government businesses? Is there a threat there?
Well, I would say the threat is already materializing, because we saw some government institutions that came out in this month and to say that they've been attacked and some of their systems have been affected. And also there's what they call the dark web. We have apart from the internet, or let me say the surface web where you browse with your normal browser, there is an underground economy where these malicious actors go. They share the information, they sell the information that they've been able to get. And if you go to that place, you will see that many government institutions are already being attacked.
So, now my team, production team, putting that up. I want you to give me a little bit more of a rub-down of your cybersecurity report earlier, how you guys were able to see through the crystal ball. And I think there were about 7 points that were highlighted in that report. Walk me through them very quickly.
Okay, so what we do every year is to, based on our research and our experience and a lot of surveys that we do, we begin to give predictions of things that will likely happen. And many times it happens, things happen just like we predicted. For instance, we mentioned that this year there's going to be attack on systems, online platforms. And because of poorly designed, they are poorly designed. And that's what we have been seeing right now. Many of those online platforms, they have been attacked. Data have been extracted from the systems, and they are asked to come and pay some money. They don't, so that they don't release data to the public. So that was one of the things that we predicted. We also predicted that because the elections are coming, there's going to be heightened attack on government platforms. Now, these are things that we have seen as patterns over the years. People start to attack government platforms when elections are approaching, just to maybe for a cause or to register a displeasure or whatsoever. So these are some of the things that we've said. Then the use of AI for attacks. People are talking about AI, and all of us have started using, or let me say, most people are using AI now for good causes, but the attackers are also using it for bad causes. And
I'm one of the scared type. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
I just want to register that. I'm one of those who are scared of artificial intelligence, but it's okay.
Yeah. So the speed of attack, something that would take them 3 months to do now, they can just design it in 3 minutes. So they are using AI, to attack. And as cyber security professionals, we also need to use AI, to defend. One other thing that we predicted was around talent. There is a serious shortage of cybersecurity talent right now. There was a survey that was done by ISC2, which is the largest association of cybersecurity professionals in the world. And they say that there are about 4.8 million job vacancies right now in the world for cybersecurity. That means there are jobs, but there are no people. And even the good ones we have in Nigeria, many of them are leaving the country. So because of that, there is that gap of that scarcity of talent, which is now increasing, or let me say, increasing the way we see cyber attack, because it's not about, when you defend system, it's less of technology and less of, let me say this way, technology, process, and governance is people that make them work. And when the people are not available, those things don't work. And so we are seeing that as a major issue, right now. Then we also predicted I think I've talked about 4. I'm trying to remember the
the other 3. That's a bit of a fair idea of the takeaways in terms of those predictions for this year. But again, why should cybersecurity talk about the deficit in terms of the jobs and the skills in the market? We need to confront this criminal community of criminal elements online that have gone global. And sometimes my first question is about why Nigeria. But we say again, digital adoption exposes you to the dark side of things. But why should cybersecurity be considered more than just a technology issue for business leaders and executives? Yes, you need technology to do it, but again, why is it more than just a technical concern?
Very good question. Because right now, cybersecurity affects everything we do. In fact, it's now a matter of national security. Let's take, for example, what is going on right now. We have financial institutions being attacked. We have government institutions being attacked. We have fintechs being attacked. We have telecoms being attacked. Put all these things together, they are called the critical national infrastructure of the country. So when you attack them, you're technically attacking the entire nation. So we're having a systemic risk right now. We're having a situation whereby it's not just people's system that are affected, it's the ecosystem that has been affected. So this is a major issue. Things like this affects, even the cost of doing business. The cost of doing business increases. It affects trust in the system. Everything about technology is about trust. The reason why you want to go online and perform a transaction is because you trust the system. The reason why you want to buy something online and expect that they will ship it to you because you trust the system. Now, when people cannot trust the system, they cannot do business. So that affects services. So services. So the whole idea is that if businesses meet right now, they are all planning to make some good money, and they are all planning to make money using technology. But if technology is down or is not secured, then the whole money that you're planning to make has already been affected. So you can see how it affects everyone, even personally. Everybody is doing something on their phone. Everybody is doing something on their phone. So it's affecting everybody. It's going to affect the entire economy, and it's something we all need to pay critical attention to right now.
How much in terms of cost are we looking at here to businesses, in terms of losses, and in terms of getting the right personnel, and the architecture that you need, the time that business executives will need to spend at meetings, meeting with technical team, meeting with everyone else to ensure that technology has become the #1 enemy?
Very, very good question. I think it
an enabler.
Yeah.
An enabler.
Yeah.
But now a #1 enemy.
So I think it varies from company to company. So because if, for instance, I'm a Rise News, I'm different from a bank and different from an oil company. So, but the whole idea is that the question we want to ask ourselves: what happens if our systems are no longer accessible? Then you will now know the costs. We have several companies right now that they could not do business because cyber attackers they took control of the entire system.
That's holding the system hostage.
Yes, to ransom, and say if you don't pay some ransom, we're not going to release your system. So the cost to you is the cost of, first of all, the fraud, if it was performed, the cost of the service not available to your customers, the cost of reputational damage, the cost of bouncing back and recovery, the cost of loss of your customers because of trust. So beyond the money that got missing, there are about 7 other costs that comes: cost of investigation, cost of repair. Those things affect the entire cost that that companies face when there is a cyber attack.
You mentioned one point because you said because systems were not well developed at the onset. Could you expatiate on that for me?
So so what happens?
And what makes that prone? What makes it prone to cyber attacks?
Yeah. So very good question. At the onset of people developing technology, what they do is that they develop a technology and then they say, how do we secure it? They now try to build security around it.
what you call the firewall, right?
There's one of it.
Yeah, one of it.
So it's like you build a house, then you now say, okay, how do we fence it? But that's not smart. But right now you say, okay, I'm building a house, but in every layer, how do I infuse security into it? From the door, from the windows, from the lightning, from everything. So many organizations, they see security as an afterthought, or as a necessary evil, or as a compliance checklist we do to satisfy the regulator, not something that we really want to do
as part of the business.
Exactly, as a business enabler to manage our risk. So at the issue, from the onset, these things were not properly designed. And you know, your cybersecurity, you cannot hide. Because once you face the internet, you are plugged to the whole world. Anybody can sit at anywhere in the world and attack your systems.
I'm looking at my laptop right now.
Yes, as you look at that laptop now, somebody can eat you from China, from North Korea, from Iran, from the US. Because once you get into the internet, it is borderless. You know, there are no boundaries. So you are plugged the entire into the net, and anyone from any part of the world can access your system. And that's why this is a very serious issue. It's unlike other things that you do that you can manage it around your house or around your family or around your business or around your office. No, this one, once you plug to the internet, you're connected to the whole world. Anyone can sit anywhere in the world with the right tools. They can attack that company or attack that system. And that's why when you build cybersecurity, you must build it to be ready to face the attack of the whole world, not for Nigeria, because the attackers are not only in Nigeria, and that's the issue what we are facing right now. People have built systems.
Yeah, because when we say
tested across the world,
increasing cyber attacks, Nigeria, and I'm saying, are they necessarily Nigerians?
Not
These
necessarily.
attackers?
Not necessarily. Some of them are Nigerians. Some of them are not Nigerians. You know, and because like we said, and what they do is that they look for low hanging fruit. If it would take me let me say 5 months to break a company in UK or the US, and take me 5 days in Nigeria, I will come to Nigeria. So again, in cybersecurity, every company will be attacked, and everyone can be breached. But what you want to do is to increase the work factor, so that you're not the 5 days guy, you are the 5 years guy or the 5 months guy. So the reason why we are seeing a lot of focus right now is because it would appear that people are saying that it's easy to get in here.
Should there be any concerns about cybersecurity as we head into the 2027 general elections?
Yes, we should. There are a lot of concerns. Like in the last 2 elections, we've seen it. Where, you know, in cybersecurity, or what we call cyber attack, there are different motivations for cyber attack. The one we always talk about is fraud. Maybe somebody is using it for personal gain. They're trying to make money. But there's another one we call activism, for instance, where you attack for a cause. So people might say, okay, I'm disgruntled. I want to show that I'm
not happy with the system, whatever.
Or I want to try to test the system to see if I can get data. I can get information that will support my candidate, that will support the election. That will, you know,
in favor of XYZ.
Exactly.
Or against XYZ.
Yeah. So that's the motive. The motive is I'm trying to get something to benefit my candidate, or to express a cause, and that's why it increases. But many times it's for government systems. It's heightened for government systems when we approach election.
What are we doing about this? Ministry of Digital Economy, whatever. What are we doing about it? Are we doing enough about it?
Are we doing enough? I would say we've done some things. For instance, in the area of policies, in terms of, I'm privileged to lead the Africa, like you mentioned, for Deloitte cybersecurity, and I've been working in several countries, working in about 36 countries, and I can say that really and truly, in terms of regulations, Nigeria is not doing badly at all. We have very good regulations. So where we need to improve right now is execution and coordination. Those things that we've written in black and white.
What does that mean in simple language?
In simple language, it means that the things that we have said we want to do
on paper,
let's do them.
In practical terms.
In practical terms. And let's, for instance, if people are supposed to report breaches. They should report. And if people are breached and you do an investigation and you see that they don't do the right thing, you should penalize them. So let's move. We need to move from just giving statements to say we are reviewing, we have checked, to actually penalizing people for doing the wrong things. So, implementing those things, and also proper coordination, because it's right now what we see is that they've moved from attacking system to ecosystems. And guess what? We're all connected. When you go and buy something, you swipe your card or you use the POS. Your bank is debited. It has passed through many systems before you go to your bank. So we're all connected. So we need to coordinate more. We need to collaborate more, and this needs to be championed by the government. We've seen some moves in this regard by NITDA. We've seen some moves by CBN. But of course, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So we need to do much more.
All right, we're going to go into that room and stay in that room and continue improving. It's nice having you for the conversation tonight. Thank you so much for your time. It's a Friday.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Temitope Aladenusi, Africa cybersecurity leader at Deloitte.